Hey, you're listening to Ahab, and you're not listening to Ahab.
You should be listening to Ahab.
You should be listening. Okay. Hey, this is Ahab, and you're listening to Brutally Delicious.
Hey, you're listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast. I am Bruce.
My name is Chris.
Today we're going to take things a little bit more somber. Funereal Doom, is that what you called it?
Funeral Doom.
Funereal Doom, sorry. Funereal, isn't that the same shit?
Funereal.
I like that. It sounds like I know what I'm talking about.
Okay. What do you call a car that starts with a V?
A Volkswagen?
No. So, like, it's a V, what?
A vehicle.
Oh, God. Why do Americans pronounce the fucking H? It drives me fucking mental. It's a vehicle. No, it's a vehicle.
I'm getting tired of all this. You're living in our country. Live by the rules.
I do. I started saying amateur.
Okay.
And I've started saying vehicle. And
you say a boot still?
No, I say house.
Okay, yeah.
So, I'm getting there.
Stupid.
I'm getting there, man.
All right. Anyway, today we're going to speak with Ahab, another napalm band.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot with napalm lately. That's good. They're supporting, and I believe these guys are from Germany as well.
They are.
Yeah, napalm's got a lot of Germany connections going on too. So we are going to be speaking with Christian Hector.
Okay.
And if you stay tuned, we'll go ahead and grab him on here. Let me see if I can get him.
I'm not offending you, am I, Bruce?
Oh, not at all.
We're just trying to make us laugh.
That's great. Laughter is what's needed right now.
Oh, yeah.
Love and laughter.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I haven't told anybody that Chris!
Hello.
Hi, is this Christian?
Yes.
Hey, Bruce Moore, and there's my partner, Chris.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it.
No problem. You're welcome.
What's it like over there in Germany these days?
Well, everything's fine. I mean, most of the time it's like cool. I mean, you have to wear masks if you like go to like in the subway and stuff like that. Or if you go like to the grocery stores. But everything's fine. So no cases. None of my family affected. So everyth's cool.
That's all wonderful. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah,
I'll give that a big fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Chris, you want to take the lead?
Okay, so I was just listening. So I've never heard of you guys before, and today was the first day, and I threw on. I just Googled you, and I ended up on YouTube, and now I forget the name of the frickin' song, of course, because I'm an idiot. You can just call me idiot. That's okay.
Christian, just so you know, he doesn't usually prep for this stuff. So
be
glad he's even on the line. He's usually somewhere else.
This guy, Bruce, is such an ass. Always trying to make me look bad.
Everything's fine. You don't need to know Ahab. I mean, we're not that big band.
Well, no, I try to know, but now I don't know what I was listening to because fuck. Anyways, it was super doomy, and
it was, yes,
and very like low tempo, aggressive. If for people that don't know your band, what is your like 1 minute boardroom pitch? Why would people listen to your band?
Why would people listen to my band? I hope because they like it, and if you're like into like doom music, of course, and if you like slow music, if you like it's a bit like slow food. You need to listen to the whole album, and I mean we only do like interpretations of books actually, and so the album is a whole story, and you need time for it, and of course you need even more time for it as it's so slow, as you already mentioned, and it's a bit of psychedelia, and it's aggressive, it's like emotional. It can be sad, but it can also, to some extent, be uplifting. So there's a whole bunch of emotion in this kind of music, and you need some time to get into it, of course. Yes.
Well, that's the first thing I noticed. It felt so emotional, even though it was so heavy and the vocals were so aggressive. It felt almost like somber, which those two things felt so disconnected in a way, but in a pleasing way.
But Great to hear. And if you add the fact that you're writing about, or you're singing about like literature or great literary works, it's kind of a cool combo. I mean, normal doom metal is, I don't know I guess about sad and emotional things. And while you're still writing about like that kind of stuff, you still got that. I mean, I think I read somewhere that you did something about Moby Dick as well, right? So that's not necessarily what I would relate to doom metal. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, I know what kind of doom metal you mean with these emotional, sad things and a bit romantic stuff, probably. But yes. there are bands that, for example, Esoteric, which are really psychedelic and really like mind-blowing, strange stuff. And yeah, I mean, Ahab lives off like opposites. I mean, we have these really, really calm moments, and then we break out with really loud and heavy and extreme music. And I think, I mean, Doom started out with Black Sabbath, of course, and this was rock music, and I think it's still in there. Well, we added just a bit of death metal, a bit of psychedelia, and almost every genre.
Which I think definitely makes it different than like some of the bands I was thinking, like a Candlemass record or a My Dying Bride record, right? I mean, there's a bit of a difference.
Yes, of course it is.
Which definitely makes it, I mean, something to gravitate towards. And I do like the idea of, I'm old school and I'm probably a little older than Chris, but I like the idea of listening to a record or a CD or whatever you're listening to top to bottom in one sitting, because you can really digest it. And I think that's the way music should be anyway.
Yeah, it's a bit like having in like a good wine, or like, I don't know, probably, I mean, even if you like vinyl, I mean, this is kind of, something very special if you like put this vinyl on the player, and you have, I don't know, a beer or a wine or something like that, and you really take your time to listen to it. Probably, I don't know, probably music for a bit older people, because when I was young, like 16, it was like, it has to be extreme, it has to be fast or brutal or something like that. And I can relate to that as well, but I think Ahab is more like the slow food of metal.
There you go.
That's that there is your boardroom pitch.
Heck yeah.
We're the slow food of metal. That's awesome. Now, I notice on your wiki page, you're listed as Funereal Doom metal. What is
Funereal?
Yeah, what is Funereal Doom metal?
Well, Funereal Doom metal goes like way back in the 90s, for probably bands like Thergoton, and it was really like kind of trance, like monotone music, almost like a funeral procession, like really slow drums, and always like the same riffs over and over again, and a massive amount of keyboards. That was like the beginning of Funereal Doom back then. It of course it comes from death metal back in the days, and to some extent also, of course, like the old classic doom metal. And that was like the first Funereal Doom bands. And then there were bands like, for example, Esoteric, which added very much psychedelia in it, with much effects on the guitars, and a bit more, just a bit more music, if you want to say it like that. And then, I mean, you know how it is. I mean, in the first place, there are bands that are really pure, and then there are other bands that like this kind of music, and they add their own ingredients, and then all of a sudden you have like a band like Ahab, you have a band like Esoteric, and you still have like the really classic Funereal Doom stuff like Tyranny, for example, from Finland, stuff like that. So yes.
So what's an Ahab show like?
Well, an Ahab show like is pretty much like a classic rock and roll show. I mean, we don't wear costumes or stuff like that. We don't wear anything like war paint or stuff like that, or makeup. We just like are a bunch of musicians who like rock music and metal music and also all sorts of other music, but we go on stage and we feel the music, we're into it. I mean, when I'm on stage, most of the times I don't really interact with the audience. I'm just having my eyes closed and just like play and like being in this kind of waves of music we do. So it's just like the music is the star, not the show.
You know, like when I was listening to it, I had to close my eyes because that's kind of what happens, you know?
Exactly.
And I was thinking, like, if I was at this show, it almost feels like there would be little tables all over the floor, and there would be people serving wine and cheese, and you'd be just, you know, sitting in this room and just letting this metal wash over you.
Yeah. No mosh pit.
No mosh pit. You know, people are kind of dressed fancy and they're black, everything, but still kind of fancy. Like it felt kind of, I don't even know how to describe that, but that's kind of the feeling I got.
Yeah, what I like most of our shows is when there is like a calm part, or like really like a part that you need to like get into it. People are quiet. Nobody's talking, and I mean, not on all shows, but the best shows are like this. And I mean, a normal metal gig is like really loud and like
chaos,
and chaos and stuff. And I mean, there is some chaos, of course, if we like play loud, people are moshing and stuff like that. But if we're like playing calm parts, people are quiet and almost have like. Many have their eyes closed and get hammered by the music.
Nice.
So
how is it now that you can't play live? What are you guys doing to kind of bridge the gap to when you can start playing live again?
Well, at the moment, I'm sometimes in my little home studio and recording stuff for a project of mine, and we did a little streaming show. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, stuff like that. And we hope we can tour in autumn again, but I don't know, probably. I mean, at the moment I think it's allowed to play in front of like 100 people, but I think it depends on the size of the club as well. So I don't have any clue if this little tour will happen. I mean, we're a happy bunch of people because we don't like live off the music. We have like regular day jobs, and so that's fine for us. But I mean, for bands like really living off this stuff, at least they have like their merch still being sold.
But, right.
Yeah. So it's for us, it's okay. I mean, we're not moaning and we're not like being sad about it. I mean, we can now even meet again in our rehearsal room and without breaking the law.
How do you decide which? I mean, there's so much literature out there. How do you decide which album is gonna, what the next project is gonna be?
Well, that depends. I mean, the first one was I was just reading Moby Dick back then, and I also wanted to like do like a one-man project, Funereal Doom band, and so that was just like probably a little coincidence, happy coincidence or lucky coincidence. And Well, on the next album, everybody was asking, well, you did Moby Dick, what you going to do now? Because you're named Ahab, you have to do something with Moby Dick. And,
right.
Well, actually, there's the story about the Essex, which inspired Herman Melville to write Moby Dick. So we took this one. And after that, we were just like, there are so many great stories. I mean, we did Edgar Allan Poe, we did Hope Hodgson. On the next album, actually, we're going to do Jules Verne, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Oh, wow.
There's so plenty of great literature about the sea because, I mean, we always do something about the sea.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So why do you always do something about the sea?
Well, it's a good question. I mean, what else would fit so well to this kind of music? And of course, I mean, the sea is like something everybody's like into, and everybody can has its own story about the sea, and it's so vast, and it's so beautiful, and still it's so cruel, and it's just like the sea is such a vast well of inspiration. So I think, and of course, I mean, we're Ahab,
right,
and we labeled ourselves Nautic Funereal Doom. So we have to stick to that a bit.
Yeah, there's also so much we don't know about the sea.
Of course, I mean, like the deep sea, for example, nowadays, and that's perfect for 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea with all these creatures. And I used to study biology like almost 20 years ago, and I was really much into zoology. So that's something I really love, and yeah.
This music is so atmospheric and slow. It lends itself to like soundtracks too. Do you guys ever do anything like that?
No, not yet, but I think we'd love to. I mean, you need to have some director or someone in the film business, movie business, coming up to you and say, I want to have you guys, but it didn't happen yet. I mean, of course, some people asked us if they can use our music for like little films,
right.
And that's fine with us, but that would be a great work to do.
Well, yeah, I used to actually work for a fairly big film composer. I'm an audio engineer, and
cool.
I've worked on big Hollywood movies to indie movies to whatever. So you actually don't need a director. What you need to do is you need to find a music supervisor and or a composer. And so the composer will often have a section where they're like, oh man, I need a rock song for this, or I need a metal song for this, and I don't have anything. Like, I can't write that. That's not what I do. And then they go to their supply of talent that they've networked with. So if you contact music supervisors or composers and say, if you ever need music like this, and then they'll log it in their catalog, and then if something comes up, they'll use it.
Okay, that sounds nice. I mean, I don't have like the network. So.
Oh, you don't need it. You just need to Google it and then email them, make initial contact. Because they're all content right now is being created at a pace that it's never been created at before. So they don't have enough music. So you just have to Google them and find them.
And I like I said, I think this music is perfect for that kind of stuff.
Well, that's why I'm saying what I'm saying, because I worked in that industry for a while, so I know how it starts out and how it works. And it seems impossible at first, and some composers may not answer you, they may not even get back to you, but some will, and then you can start a relationship that way.
So just like writing these people?
Yeah, you just write them and say, hey, listen, we create this really atmospheric music, and if you're ever in need of anything, here's a link. Never send an MP3 ever, because that will guarantee that it won't get listened to. So you have to send a link to your music, preferably an embedded link, so they can just click it and watch it right there.
Yeah.
And if they like it, they'll put you in the file. They may not use it. They may use it. But, that's how it all starts.
Worth a shot for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks for the info.
Yeah. So when you guys are writing or recording your music, are you doing so all together, or are you guys like taking advantage of the internet and sending things back and forth?
No, I mean, some of the parts we do in rehearsal rooms, but most of the times we come with ideas, and sometimes probably like quarter of a song is already like in your head, and you bring it with you, and then you like throw it in the ring, and then you see what happens. And I would say in the rehearsal room, most of the times it's more like arranging and like adding a bit there and a bit there, and of course sometimes something new develops out of it or happens, but I think most of the times we're like doing stuff at home and bring it to the others. Yeah.
Okay. Chris?
I don't have anything else. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today and introducing us to Ahab, and me personally to Funereal Doom, which I'd never even heard of before. So
you're very welcome.
Hello out there. Yes, hello out there, everyone. I'm Hal Schwartz.
And I'm Flynn McLean. Together we host None But the Brave, a podcast dedicated to the music and career of Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce and E Street Band are on tour right now for the first time in 6 years, and we're taking a detailed look at what's happening on stage in our bi-weekly episodes.
We've also been recently joined by some very exciting guests, including rock journalist Warren Zanes and Stephen Hayden, Backstreet's Magazine founder Charles Cross, and Barstool's Kirk Minahan.
If you're a diehard Springsteen fan, this is the show for you.
So please subscribe to None But the Brave on your favorite podcasting platform, and we hope to see you further on up the road.
Thank you so much. We'll be seeing you.